morning and welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living right here in beautiful Fullerton, California. My name is Tomoko Rosas and I'm a practitioner here at the center. Please join me in stating our purpose statement. We are a loving spiritual community empowering all to live healthy and successful lives through practicing the principles of science of life. So, announcements before we get started. Happy Love Month. We're still in Love Month. And happy Valentine's Day this Wednesday. And this is a special announcement for the men. Remember, it's Wednesday. Be a hero. Okay. Kicking off the Open at the Top workshop series with Vision Board workshop with Carol and Deborah. And they're not here right now, but they're busy preparing for it. So please sign up. It's next Sunday, and that's going to be after service. And the fee is $15, but it pays for all the supplies and the lunch. And I think we're going to have pizza and salad, I think. I got to check with Carol. So please sign up because I need to know the head count, so how many to prepare for. And also part of the Open at the Top series, we're bringing Reiki Healing Circle back. And that's going to be on Sunday the 25th. And it's only an hour long. And we're offering it at love donation. So I'm asking all the Reiki practitioners and light workers around the local area, and I'm calling them in to get their chakras balanced and their light body calibrated. So please join us for that. And you don't need to have any knowledge on Reiki in order to join in this meditation. So I would love to see a big circle, and that's on the 25th. Please mark your calendar. And next on the series is the astrology workshop with Reverend Karen Balistreri. And she's usually here, but she's not here today. And that's going to be on Sunday, March 10th. And that's after service. And the details are in the program. And we're calling out for raffle gift donations for fundraising efforts for this year. More information will follow on that. We did not include it into the program today. And anyone interested in accredited classes, we're always calling for students. Spiritual Growth Support Group is ongoing on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. And join us if you can. There's no commitment to that one. Unexpected Income Club is doing great, and our goal for this year is to reach $25,000 by the end of the year. So thank you all for participating. And I'm going to pass it on to Tommy.
I need to be still. Let God love me. I need to be still. Let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still. Let God love me.
Good morning, folks. Good morning. How are you? So please join me in prayer. Join me in knowing that there is one power, one love, one presence that created everything that's around us, that's within us, the love that is here, that moves everything. And it is right here, right now, that we know that this love is in every face that I see, that you see, and that somehow is the hand, the feet that has made this service possible. So with a grateful heart, I know that there are blessings for those people that give of themselves for this service every week, especially for today. There are blessings for the Board of Trustees, whose business is the business of the church, for the Coffee Fellowship, for the ushers and the greeters, the junior church teachers, my fellow practitioners, for Tommy, our music director, and for all of our volunteers. Special blessings for our own Reverend Dr. Bill Salisbury as he gives his talk today, and we open our hearts to receive his message. Thank you. My name is Eva Castelo. I am a practitioner at this beautiful center. My reading today is from 365, Science of Mind. I've chosen from page 59, and it reads, "Deep within me dwells infinite love. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things." Matthew 12:55. God is the giver of all things by means of love. The Spirit is always at peace. There is no argument in divine mind. That's what humans do. The Spirit has never doubted itself, opposed itself, or disagreed with itself. This is the oneness that is God. Deep within me is that which never gets angry, troubled, or afraid. When I seem to be in conflict, I become still so that I may listen. All the love there is right here, right now, with me. I now cease all self-opposition. I hear only the voice of love speaking to me. I hear nothing but the words of wisdom guiding and inspiring me. And when I listen, there is a response from something greater than myself. It is the mysterious energy of love, the active principle of unity. Everything loves and everything responds to love. It is a universal quality shared alike by all, the central flame of the universe. Desiring to be loved, I allow myself to love greatly, to feel warmly inclined towards all people, and to be helpful on their behalf. I give as I wish to receive. As I love and cooperate with other people, so do they love me and give me their cooperation. My loving thoughts attract caring friends to me. So now join me in prayer. between the finite inhale and exhale of my breath, there is perfect stillness. This perfect stillness also is found between the finite contraction and expansion of my heart as it beats in the silence between each finite thought I think and each finite word I speak. In this perfect stillness, the infinite expresses, and this infinite is but another name for the one, that which is all there is, God. Which, with each breath that I breathe, I am reminded that the life I live is God life. It is love itself living as me, and all is divinely right, perfect, harmoniously whole, and illuminated with that presence. With each beat of my heart, each cycle of my breath, and each conscious thought, I hear, I see, I feel, and I know the very call of spirit on a level beyond words. In the stillness, I hear spirit calling to me to surrender and allow my words to be creative. In the stillness, I feel spirit calling to me to raise my consciousness in absolute certainty of the infinite oneness of creation that moves in, with, through, and as me. Such joy and gratitude well up as I embody these sweet words of truth. Knowing these are the words of Spirit speaking of itself, right here, right now, it is in the stillness, the silence, the space between each breath, each heartbeat, and is the timeless space of each thought that I feel the ever-expanding vast potentiality and possibilities of infinity being created, demonstrated, and expressed in ways that leave my imagination in awe. In these days of joyous awe and receptivity to the call of spirit, I confidently release these words into the law, where I know they are formed perfectly, wholly, and magnificently, knowing that it is already so. I live this prayer and exclaim, and so it is. Thank you.
God of the mystical canyon, God of the ocean blue, God of the glacier-carved mountains, I give myself to you. God of the first redwood forest, God of the seedlings new, God of the windflower meadows, I give myself to you. Yours is the higher power, yours is the greater plan. Finally I surrender into your loving hands. God of the sun's endless fire, God of the gleaming moon, God of the earthly wind, to your loving hand. God of this heartbeat within me, God of this gift of life, God of no end or beginning, I am yours and you are mine. I am yours and you are mine.
Thank you. Woo. And it's February. It's the month of love. Love is in the air. Is that our theme? You know, I don't know if you know this guy. There's a guy named Jim Gaffigan. He's a comedian. And he said a while back, he said, February, Valentine's Day, right? We all know it's Valentine's Day. Because if it wasn't for Valentine's Day, February would be, well, January. Of course, it wouldn't be January because we got a bunch of stuff going on in February. Hi. Boy, what do we have? We have President's Day, right? I think that's tomorrow. Or next week, whatever. You know, it used to be 2 days. It used to be Washington's birthday and Lincoln's birthday. I think what happened was they got tired of paying people for 2 days off in the same month, so they just grouped them together. I mean, I don't know, just saying. And we have Wednesday, Valentine's Day is also Ash Wednesday, first day of Lent. February is Black History Month. Of course, if you're black, every month is Black History Month, isn't it? So is every week and every day and every hour and every minute, because it needs to be due to the hideous background we have of that sort of thing in this country. But we got lots of other things. Do you know that if you go online, they will list out this day, that day, this day, that day, for each day of every month? I mean, if you sat and wrote that out, it'd take you a month to write it out. Because every day of every month has 6 or 8 or a dozen things that it's the day of. I think we need to think about something else once in a while. I mean, one of them was actually like National Jello Day. Come on. So did you get your Valentine card? Yeah. I got mine. It's the thought that counts. Well, okay, I guess. But rather than just think about loving me on Valentine's Day, how about just doing it? How about let's show that all the time. Oh, and also, yesterday, Chinese New Year. Yeah, the Year of the Dragon. Nice. We got so much going on in February, I just can't hardly stand it. We even have a couple of birthdays here on February, yeah? Yeah, but that's old hat. We went over that last Sunday. So, here's the thing, because let's talk about this Valentine love, and let's separate those two words, and let's just say, you know what, Valentines are great, thank you very much. You know, Hallmark thanks us, especially. But let's show it, let's do it, let's live it. Love isn't something that we do so much as it's something that we are. Right? That's our purpose here. That's our core. That's the essence of who we are. And we should be able to display that. And if you were here for the meditation, and even something in the reading from Eva this morning was talking about love being a now thing. You know, There's an Irish saying that goes something like, better one thing right now than two things in the past or three things in the future. And I think we could substitute the word love for thing, because love has to be a right now thing. It's right now. Did we have it before? Sure. Are we going to have it again? Sure. But can we concentrate on that, and can we live in that right now? No. There was a song, God, I hate it when I do this to myself because it makes me feel so old, but I'm going to say, back in the 60s. And one of the lines was, I loved you yesterday, but yesterday's gone. So that love that was there, that we had for each other, was there at that time, but we're no longer in that time. We have to be in love right now. And if we are, it carries forward to the now time, all the time, every time. And that's where we want to be. And where does it come from? Does it come from those Valentine cards? You know where that name came from? I mean, there's a dozen stories about where that name came from. And you can take your pick, because none of us really knows. It's one of those things that's morphed over the years, I mean over the centuries. I mean, it just, some say it was Saint Valentine, the Christian martyr, who just prior to having his head lopped off, had restored the vision to his jailer's daughter. And he was in communication with her. And the last letter that he sent to her, or had delivered to her, knowing he was about to be put to death, and he gave her some, I'm sure, sage advice, but he signed it, from your Valentine. And over the years, in this whole mixture of religious, you know, there've been a lot of Saint Valentines. There've been a lot of Christian named Valentine. And there's been a lot of pagan celebrations around the same sort of thing. And just over the years, it just morphed into this. Now we don't, what we send is some little tidbit about love and Valentine, and we've lumped them together. But really the message of it is, we should be doing that all day, every day, all year. And that Valentine, that love that we're sending, comes from the heart. Because the heart, sometimes we lose sight of this, but the heart is the center of intelligence in the human body. Yeah. And we say heart. I don't think it's actually in that organ in my body, but when we say that, we're meaning that cosmic heart. We're meaning that heart that beats us, that heart of God, that is what keeps us going, that is what sustains us, and what allows us to give and receive that love. And that, of course, is the nature of all being. And don't we say things like, in your heart, you know. Oh, I knew it in my heart. I want to thank you from my heart. We don't ever say things like, yeah, in your head, you know. I want to thank you from the bottom of my head. We have to be able to live this love that we talk about. When it comes to love, I can is 100 times more powerful than IQ. Yeah? There's going to be a day when our senses may go away. Well, we may not remember things. We may not have instant recall for things. But we will never lose that instant recall of things of the heart. Don't we say, cross my heart? If I say cross my heart, you all know I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Because all these things come from the heart, that beating heart, that Valentine heart. They don't come from the brain. Yeah, I once had a guy, I think I've told you this before, I once had a philosophy instructor who said, speaking of my mind, I believe my mind's in my elbow, because we know it's not in the brain. We know that. Scientifically, we know that. There's nothing in there except kind of like, I don't know, from memory, you can take things in and you can memorize them and disperse them by rote later on. But still, when we say, he knew it by heart, it's not because we memorized something. It's because we so took it to heart, we so took it into that essence of who we are, that it became such a part of us that we never forget it. We never leave it behind. We never forget those roots that we came from. I used this book the other day, or the other week, of Earth and Sky, Spiritual Lessons from Nature. And I just want to quote a little bit from this essay that's titled, "To Live is to Love." Because it is. All things love each other. All nature is oriented toward a vow. All beings that are alive are in communion with each other. All plants, all animals, all beings are fraternally united. And thus, all beings love each other. And the laws which rule all animate beings are variants of the one law of love. And that one law of love isn't conditional. It's absolute. If it's conditional, it's not love. It's not our heart doing it. It's something else. It's something that feels great, something that sounds great and it looks good, but it isn't love. It's not the love we're talking about. It's not that agape love. Oh, sure, we get the cute little blurbs on the Valentine's cards, and guess what? We forgot them tomorrow. But if somebody receives us in love, do we forget that tomorrow? We don't forget it tomorrow or next month or next year. We're going to never forget it. You can think back right now to when you were a child, as far back as that if you wish, and you remember the people that received you in love, and you will remember them to your dying day. You always will. So it's not about talking. We can't talk love. There is no such thing as a love language. Are there lots of flowery words? Sure. But we cannot communicate love with words. They're just not robust enough. They're just not strong enough, powerful enough, meaningful enough. The only way we can relate love and receive love is with the heart. That's what Valentine's Day is all about. Somebody once said that love is not something for one another. Love is something for the one in the other. Because we all come from the same place. We all come from that divine, cosmic heart that is produced and provided for everything ever in existence. We all come from that. We're all part of that. God is not afraid of diversity. She really isn't. If there's fear in diversity, who's that on? That's on us. Because we have not understood what love is. We have not understood that we are all part and parcel of the one consciousness, of the one mind, of the one heart, of the one beingness. That we're this little tiny part of the whole. And yet, we're actually that heart of the whole. It's hard to get your head around that sometimes. We're just one in billions and gazillions of creatures. But we're so important. we are what radiates that love that we were sent here to live in. Back to Ernest Holmes in his 365. Thank you very much. There I was thinking, yeah, she's going to read the same thing I was going to quote. Which is fine. We'd have just found, there's so much in here. Anyways, Ernest Holmes said, our life must be lived constructively in unity and love and sympathy with everything around us if we expect to live it to the fullest. You see a theme going through here? Both those quotes so far. But love is blind, yeah? Come on, we say that. Love is blind. No, 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 no. Love has 20/20 vision. 20/20 vision. Love sees all those little peccadillos in all of us and accepts us anyway. Understands that if we were only just human, it'd be another thing. But we're not. We got that divinity in us. We got that divinity that is us. Consequently, we don't have to be blind. We don't have to turn our head. We don't have to be the ostrich with our head in the sand for anything. We can look right at a fact and not allow it to have power over us. We can look right at a situation and not allow it to get in the way of us being that love entity that we are. So in his book, The Silence of the Heart, Paul Farini said this: when love is broad, it embraces all things as itself. It is like water, feminine, accepting, without discrimination. When love is deep, it destroys all the obstacles in its way. It is like fire, masculine, discriminating, clinging only to truth. We have to have both sides. Is soft love great? It is. But is powerful love tremendous? Does it take us where we want to go? Does it allow us to exist in this world and to go through all the things that we're going to go through in this world and still navigate it with love, with acceptance, with forgiveness, with understanding, with community, allowing us to see the joy and the beauty that life is and not get bogged down in things that on the surface are not good? We can take things being not good if we want, or we can say, whoa, wait, and whoa, Nellie, hang on. I'm put here on purpose. I'm not an accident. I'm here by divine appointment. And guess what? If I'm here by divine appointment, so is every other thing or person or creature that's ever been put here. God has said okay to the physical world. Because here we are. And part of that physical world is showing that love in spite of the things that our humanness sometimes makes us say or do. It allows us to go deep within, get into that wellspring of love, and come out of it saying, wow, okay, I see this, I hear this, I feel this, but the fact is that's not the truth of me, and that's not the truth of whoever it is that instigated whatever it is, whatever event we're talking about. Okay? When somebody says something because Don't we always get our feelings hurt? And that's sometimes how we get to where we're a little bit out of sorts, we're a little bit out of balance because somebody said something. Well, if somebody says something intentionally, I mean, I'm not talking about a slip of the tongue or saying something and not knowing any better. I'm just talking about if somebody says something designed to be mean to us, we have to understand it's not about us. It's coming from some inner damage that hasn't been yet approached and healed in that person. And let me ask you, what's going to heal it? Some of us were brought up with the, oh, you want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about mentality. And how did that work for us? Wasn't the very first thing we did when we got to be a little older and a little bit more mature in our spirituality, one of the very first thing we did was say, whoa, that didn't work. That did not work. And if it didn't work, why would we continue to do it? We have to understand that the only approach to something untoward, seemingly distracting to us, is understanding. Understanding that that's not the divinity in that person coming to the fore. It just isn't. That divinity is still buried under there. We got to treat it like an onion, and you take layer after layer after layer after layer off of it till we get down to the central core of the love that that person is. So, you know, the Lakota have a phrase. It's called Shante Ishta. Shante Ishta. And it means something like the single eye of the heart. Don't we talk about keeping our eye single on God? We have a single eye for love. And of course, look at how they lived in community with the earth. How they lived in community with Spirit. And sometimes I think we kind of drift away from that a little bit. We have to understand that Valentine's Day or not, we have to come from a Valentine heart. Or we're not going to like where we end up. And anytime we're in a temporary situation where we feel like, I wish I wasn't here, there's only one ticket out. One ticket out. And that's just to fall in love, to be loved, to live the love that we are, and not allow anything to get between us and the experience of love. So let's just take that into prayer. Let's just know that as we stand here, as we navigate this world, as we talk about from the bottom of my heart, and near to my heart, and across my heart, and in my heart, let's just know that it's all heart. It's all the cosmic heart. It's all the heart of God. It's all the heart of that consciousness that is, that beingness, that isness, that life principle that has put us here and sustains us so well. And we are the exact heart of that cosmic heart. We're the heart within the heart. It's that cosmic heart, that Christ consciousness, that Christ heart that beats us, and yet we are the very center of it. And as long as we remain there and we are aware of that and we keep our single eye on that, life is good. Love is everywhere. Love abounds. And it's just with grateful heart that I say, thank you, God. Thank you for this. Thank you for the ability to give and receive this love that we were conceived in. Thank you for always being available at a simple change of mind changing heart. So just let this word go, knowing that it is at the basis of all that we are. That it is love that we live for, and it is love that is life itself. Right? Just let this word go, knowing the truth of that. And together we say, so it is. We know that all of our good comes from that one source, God. And for this we are eternally grateful. Thank you for your continued support. And for those of you who are still supporting from a distance and not here, thank you also. Let's just know that we bless these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, knowing they come from the central core of who we are, which is God made manifest on this plane. We send them forth to do their good work in the world with no strings and no conditions. And so it is.
Is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. B is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you'll adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. B is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you'll adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you.
John and Tito, once again, loving us up. Thank you. Wow. Let's just know something together. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called Valentine heart.
It's this thing called Valentine heart.
I have it.
I have it.
Every day.
Every day.
Not just Valentine's Day.
Not just Valentine's Day.
And finally,
Finally,
I love you.
I love you.
And so it is.